hopefully we can have your brother
No, he'll be here.
on the next
I'll make his ass get here.
on the next one. Yeah. All right, welcome Sportz Aholicz. It's been a while since our last podcast, but I'm glad to say, we're back. Joining me this time is my good friend, Santa Ana's very own Alexis Rocha. Lex, thanks for taking the time. I know you just got out of training. Thanks for taking time.
No, thank you, bro. Thank you for having me. This is cool.
So let's just get right to it. Let's talk about how it all started for you. We know, Ronnie, your brother, was a big influence, for you to get started. But was it just kind of like a hobby for you getting started in boxing?
No, well, it mainly started for me to lose weight because growing up I was very overweight. I weighed about 205 pounds when I was 11 years old, and that got me thinking, I should start doing something about, my health. And I was very aware at the time at a young age that I needed to go live a healthier lifestyle, start working out, start eating better. And I just started following Ronnie and my older brother Salvador Rios to the boxing gym. And then from there, that's where I just started losing weight. And then you start getting, a passion for the sport because you're there repeatedly doing the little stuff, shadow boxing, hitting the bags, you start hitting the mitts, you start doing the road work, and then, it becomes a commitment from there. I lost 60 pounds within 5 months, maybe 6 months. And yeah, man, that was how it mainly started.
So TKO, is that where it all started for you? Is that where, you first started training?
Yeah. That's my first home gym, born and raised in Santa Ana. That's where I followed Ronnie and my brother Sal to the gym. Yeah. Now
TKO, it's a great atmosphere, great people there. Coach Hector, everybody over there at TKO. Coach Hector, he gives you that tough love. He gives you that tough love. We have kind of a little rivalry going on. One thing about Coach Hector that you guys probably don't know is he could shoot. That guy could shoot in the basketball gym. He doesn't have a mid game. He needs to work on that. So hopefully he could get that done. But yeah, talk about your relationship with Coach Hector, and because we do see it.
Yeah.
When you don't do something right, he just kind of like explodes on you.
Hitting you with the right hand every time. You don't fucking listen. God damn it, Lexus. Where are you supposed to be? Do not back.
Like
the encouragement kind of.
Yeah, like kind of the encouragement that you kind of look for it when you're.
Yeah, I mean, he says it how it is. Like with Hector, like he's gonna say how it is. He doesn't hold back. He tells you the honest truth, and that's the thing. He's a truthful person. And if you're doing something wrong, he tells you, you're not doing this right. You gotta keep your hands up. He does exaggerate sometimes, but for the most part, he's pretty straightforward. And I feel like that's how much fighters nowadays need, because a lot of fighters in today's society, a lot of people are getting kind of soft, sadly, with Instagram, with all social media platforms. People are, they don't like getting yelled at, they don't like getting told the truth. And for us fighters, that's what we need to be we need to be told the truth too. We can't have yes men just saying like, oh, you look good today, you look good today, you look good today. That's not going to do anything for your career. They have to find out what you're lacking and also your strengths. Do more of your strengths, and what you're lacking, you need to work on it too. So that's what Hector does.
You start your career, you become a pro, you start your career 16-0. And unfortunately, you do suffer your first loss. Yeah. Can you take us through your mindset after that loss?
Yeah, my mindset after that loss, I was embarrassed, losing. I was embarrassed. I was a little bit discouraged because no one likes to lose, and that hit me pretty hard, losing, because I love to win in anything. And when I lost, I was like, damn, like I was disappointed. And it took me about a good 2-3 weeks, maybe a month, to stop replaying. Like, what could I have done? I could have done this. I should have done this. But then I just started switching that mindset. I started telling myself, like, I can't look in the past. Like, I put so much pressure on myself in the past to protect that O, because nowadays, in boxing especially, if you have an undefeated record, there's so much pressure to hold that, because everyone tries to look at Floyd Mayweather. Everyone tries to look at what he did and his legacy. Everyone tries to hide that O, so, like, protect that O, whatever, as much as possible as they possibly can. And with me, I feel like I felt that I put so much pressure in hiding that O, and that would put pressure on myself, and I would, in a sense, I would hold back. I wouldn't take the extra risk that I'm taking after my loss. So once I lost, it's just a reality check, and told myself, like, hey, I can't, like, I got one more shot at this. I can't be messing up like that. I can't be holding myself back, because I'm better than that. And I know I could do so much better. And yeah.
Yeah. So you do come back after your loss, and it showed that you really did clear your mind, because you come back, you win, you've have fought 4 times after that, and you got in 3 knockouts, 3 stoppages. So, and of course, one of the most important ones, and I was lucky enough to cover that fight, was against Blair Cobb. To me, that fight showed the type of mentality that you were in, what kind of fighter you really are. Did you feel the same way after that fight, after that Blair Cobb's fight?
Yeah, I feel like that catapults in my career up to contender status. I was kind of like a prospect trying to be contender, but once I beat him, I felt that, I was a full-fledged contender, knocking on that door for a world title shot within the near future, within a year, I would say. Just a couple more gradual steps that I need to take to that. So,
like I said, it was a great fight. I was lucky enough to be there, and we were actually making some side bets.
I remember. Yeah.
We were making some side bets up in the box, and people were betting
with Blair.
With Blair, and it was push-ups.
Yeah,
and,
I remember.
Yeah, it was push-ups, and luckily, and what was his name? Brendan Taylor from True School Sports. There you go. He ended up losing, and he paid his debt.
Yeah, I remember.
Shout out to him.
Yeah, shout out to him.
Yeah, he paid his debt. So let's talk about your upcoming fight.
Yeah.
Can you talk to us about it? I know it's going to be October 29th. It's going to be in San Diego. Can you tell us a little bit more about it?
Yeah, I'm fighting October 29th at the Pechanga Arena in San Diego. My opponent's going to be Jesus Ricky Perez. I don't know too much about him. I've seen some video. He's a little slugger. He's shorter than me. So he just comes forward, and, these are the fights I need to be taking to not overlook and to make a statement on these type of fighters. And I'm going in physically, mentally ready, 100% prepared, because these are the fighters that come with nothing to lose. His record is 24-3 with 18 knockouts. His 3 losses, he hasn't been stopped. So, I'm looking, he's gonna be gamed, and those guys he's lost to have been undefeated. So, and they're against good competition. So I gotta go in there. I can't, even though no one's heard of them, those guys are dangerous. Like I said, they come with everything to win and nothing to lose. So he's gonna have a chip on his shoulder. He's gonna try to upset me, and I don't want that.
Yeah. So this training camp, it was different for you in the fact that in your last fight you suffered a hand injury.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit more of the severity of your hand injury, what happened, and how it affected your training camp?
It hasn't affected me this training camp because I tore my tendon on my hand, fractured my wrist on my hand. One of my bones chipped out. So I felt that in my last fight in the second round. I think I hit him in the elbow or somewhere. I kind of tweaked my wrist a little bit, and I knew something was wrong because even to try to make a fist, it would hurt really bad. I told my coach, Hector, that, it's something's wrong. Something's bugging me. Like, it's my right hand. I think I messed it up. I think I tweaked it or something. And in my mind, I thought it would go away the next round. But every time I would land I would land the shot to his head or even to the body. I would stick him jab to the body, and I'd kind of make a fist, and it still hurt. So, I got the win. It wasn't the win I wanted to get because I was fighting with one hand. But I showed that I could box. I showed that I could move around. I showed I could have defense. And that, once I won, I knew something was wrong. So immediately, I think within the next day, I took x-rays, showed that I had a showed that I had a messed up. I mean, I had showed that I had a fractured wrist on my X-rays. So I took another MRI. Well, I took an MRI, I should say. And from there, my coach calls me. He says, "Hey, you tore your tendon." I'm like, "Damn." So right off the bat, like, we're like, what do? We need to get on it right away because I want to fight into this year. You know, I want to stay active. And luckily, my coach works in the medical field, so he works with a lot of doctors. And he sent them the MRI test to about 3 different doctors, and they're all specialists. They specialize in hands, they specialize in, you know, orthopedics or whatever. And they said that 2 of them said that I needed surgery, and then 1 of them didn't. And the guy asked them, like, why don't you think so? He says, well, he tore his tendon, but it's not a tendon that it's gonna bug him in the future. It's gonna hurt him, but it's not like a tendon that it's not a tear that needs to be repaired like that bad. But it's a torn tendon, which is gonna bug him until he does something about it. So you could prolong the surgery, and there's other scenarios, other things you could do, get around with it. And they were like, cortisone shots wouldn't work. So I'm like, all right, well, what else is there? And then they started going in with like the plasmas and all that stuff. So we got referred to a doctor, an orthopedic. Shout out Dr. Mora, out there in not Hogue. Yeah, I believe it's Hogue Hospital. No, not Hogue. I'm sorry, St. Joseph's Hospital, I believe. And, you know, I went with him. He gave me a PRP injection, and it's something where you basically drop your own blood and you spin it, and it becomes like a plasma or something like that. It's kind of a weird
biology and stuff.
Yeah, it's weird. So, like, they drew a lot of blood out of me. And then when they injected me, they injected me, and they did like 3 shots, and they hurt really bad. They hurt really bad, yeah. And then the doctor's like, well, come with me, like, for the next week. And this is probably, like, late July already. I fought mid-July. End of July, I got the shot. Oh, no, actually, a week later, I got the shot, actually. And then he tells me you have to need a splint on your hand, and then you have to keep it for like 2 to 3 weeks, and then after that you have to go to physical therapy. So once that all happened, I started going to physical therapy. Now we're talking like almost mid-August. I started going to physical therapy, started making fists, started making grip strength and all that. I started hitting the bags late August, and I didn't feel that much pain. So I was still kind of hesitant on throwing the punch, but there wasn't any pain like it was in the fight. So I'm like, damn, I kind of want to hold back a little bit. And it wasn't until like early September where like I really started letting my hand go. And we told Robert Diaz from Golden Boys, like, hey, we're going to be ready. We're going to be ready. You know, give us whoever you got. And then they put me on the JoJo card.
Nice. And you are the co-main event.
Yes, co-main event.
Your past fights, it's been co-main
main event. Yeah.
How are your emotions at that time, knowing that, hey, I'm going to be the co-main event, I'm going to be the main event at some of your fights? What is that?
Yeah, thank you to Golden Boy for, you know, believing in me and putting me in the co-main event, elevating me up to the main event. You know, just, it's a lot of hard work and sacrifices that go into this sport. And now's my time. I really feel like now's my time. Now's the time that, like, I got to, like, shine in front of everyone. You know, with co-main event spots like this, I got to go out there and not prove to anyone, because I don't have to prove to anyone. I have to prove me right. You know, I have to prove to myself, most and foremost, that I belong with all these top contenders. I belong on the path to be a world champion. And with you know, just victories like this, and then, you know, I'm training really hard to get a victory October 29th and to get an impressive victory. And then hopefully we're talking, you know, in the early next year to headline a card.
This training camp, did you have any specific sparring partners? I know you did. Was it this training camp that you went to RGBA a lot?
Yeah, I'm going to RGBA. A lot of sparring partners out there. They have a lot of great talent. And Robert Garcia's, I've been sparring also in Maywood Boxing Gym. Like a lot of places you have to go just to find work. And with my opponent, he's very short, and I don't think I'm gonna find someone that short who's like 5'7". Yeah.
So now, you know, you're about to, you know, find the co-main event.
Yep.
After this, do you see yourself fighting a bigger name? Do you want that big fight? And if you do see that, who would you want to face next?
You know, everyone always asks me that, but in my mind, I can't overlook anyone. You know, it's so hard. It's not it's hard and it isn't because I know what I'm capable of. I know what my abilities are, but I got to show it October 29th with this opponent. You know, I'm never the type of person like to say like, oh, after this guy I want this person. I'm not gonna say that because I have to really concentrate and focus on my main opponent come October 29th. You know, after I always tell everyone, you know, after the fight, then tell me what I want, and then I'll tell you.
Okay, so you fight for Santa Ana. How does that make you feel to represent your city, especially one like Santa Ana, which a lot of people don't really know about outside of Santa Ana, or if you're in Orange County? But how does that make you feel to fight for your city?
It makes me feel very proud. You know, from a lot of people from Santa Ana. What people don't know, there's a lot of talent in that city. You know, whether it's soccer. You know, it's me in boxing. Ronnie, who was a boxer as well. And, you know, you have a lot of businesses going out there. You know, the cultura out there is, like, so big. Makes me very proud to represent Santa Ana. You know, a lot of hardworking people. You know, I look at my parents, for example, who are very hardworking. And, you know, those are the people who are a prime example of Santaneros, you know, raising their kids. And that makes me very happy that, you know, you have parents like mine who really grind out hard for their kids. And now I want to make an example, you know, for the future, for the kids that, you know, who were like me in my shoes back then, you know, who are growing up gorditos, who are growing up overweight. And I want to be a great example to them to really, if you believe in yourself and if, you know, you really work hard at something, if you really want something, you know, go and chase it. It's not going to be easy because nothing in life's easy. So you just got to go and you just got to go, you know, the consistency is key. If you if you constantly go at it, if you're grinding hard at it, then you're going to get to where you want to get. And I want to show an example to all that for all my people.
For sure. Yeah, and Tico does a lot for the Santa Ana community.
Oh, yeah.
You guys do set an example for that younger generation. You have a lot of kids wanting to sign up for TKO. Yeah. A lot. And honestly, to me, it's great to see that, you know, to see the youth want to become something. So, you know, big shout out to TKO for doing that. So who was your favorite boxer growing up?
Oh, my favorite boxer. I watched a lot of Oscar De La Hoya videos because me growing up, I wanted to fight in the Olympics. And, you know, I saw Oscar De La Hoya videos and he was very popular back then when I was a kid. I mean, he's still popular till now. He's a living legend right now. You know, one of the biggest icons in the sport of boxing. And yeah, I used to watch him a lot, you know, him being Mexican American and, you know, him when he went to the Olympics, him fighting for his mom, you know, who passed away. And he promised his mom he'll bring back a gold medal. And, you know, with all the hard work he did, he brought that back, turned pro, and, you know, was one of the faces of boxing. And until this day still is, you know, even outside of boxing, he's a great businessman. He has Golden Promotions who signed me. And, you know, that's something that inspires fighters like me and inspires a lot of people to move forward.
Yeah. And was it, I don't remember, but did you have a chance to actually try and fight for the Olympics and you just decided to go pro? Or
yeah, I just decided to go pro. I saw like all the new mandatory rules that you have to be 19 to 40 years old, and they removed the headgear at that age or in that level. So I was a youth, which is 17, 18. And yeah, I was still fighting with headgear, and I was seeing all the elites, as they call it, that were trying to qualify for the U.S. men's or the Olympic trials. They would all take their headgear off, and they would come out with like these nasty gashes of cuts on them from, you know, headbutts or elbows or whatever. And I just thought to myself, like, damn, like, these guys aren't getting paid. You know, it's for a dream, but why are you putting so much wear and tear on your body if you're not getting paid for it like a professional fight? So, you know, me and my team, you know, me and Hector Lopez, you know, we just thought to ourselves, like, might as well just go pro. I'm already going to be 18, and I already had people looking at me to sign me. So I was like, you know, maybe we should go down the pro route instead of just trying to wait for the Olympics or something.
So, yeah, so that's all the questions I have for you, Lex. Thanks for taking the time coming out here. During training, I know it's very hard. I've experienced it firsthand with you guys. It's not easy. But yeah, if you want to give out shout outs to everybody out there or your sponsors, go feel free.
Yeah, I mean, just thank you, Ralphie, for having me on here. You know, you're a good friend, like you said. Shout out to Sportz Aholicz, who's always showing love for Santa Ana and just showing love to, like, you know, to the locals and stuff and to everyone. And then, yeah, shout out to my sponsors, SOA Boxing, Abraham Perez. Big shout out to him. Thank you for so much, everything you do. To my new sponsors, Amor Tequila, La Santa, Option One Automotive Advisors. Shout out to Alex. Shout out to Cryo Spa. Shout out to Massage Matters. I have a lot of sponsors, so yeah.
It's all good.
And shout out to Fruities. Thank you guys.
Yeah.
And Cal Attorneys. I can't forget them, who's been a day one sponsor. Thank you guys.
Cal Attorneys, big shout out to them.
Yeah.
Good guys over there. Good
Great,
people.
great guys. Great people.
Yeah, I just want to give a shout out to everybody. You know, it's been a while. I'm just glad to be back. Shout out to Hug Life. Shout out to TKO. Shout out to Build Your Own Brand. My good friend over there at Adam Castro's Boxing. I haven't forgot about you, man. It all started with you. Thank you. And yeah, everybody I left out, all those kids in TKO, Coach, thank you for always welcoming me with open arms. The Santa Cruz camp, everybody, you know, we won't forget you. Thanks. Peace.
Peace out.